Welcome to Yoga for the Young at Heart. Yoga for the Young at Heart Volume 2 is accessible yoga for everybody. So regardless of your age or physical condition, you can begin your yoga practice right now. So let's start. Okay, come to a comfortable seated position on your mat. And if you're not able to sit flat on the floor, you can sit on some blankets. Roll your inner thigh down toward the floor. Both legs, use your hands. And then for a moment, let your hands rest on the tops of your thighs. Let your elbows point straight down toward the floor. So bring your hands back a little from your knees. Lift your heart, press your shoulder blades toward each other and lengthen through the crown of your head. And just for a moment, close your eyes and feel the length of your spine. Take a deep, full breath, inhaling deeply using the Ujjayi breathing, the deep, resonant breath, and just come into the center of your body. Just allow yourself to come present in this moment. 3 or 4 long, deep, full breaths. And then allow the bottom edge of your shoulder blade to scoop forward and lift your heart from behind, shoulders back and relaxed and down. Then with your next inhalation, lengthen your waist, lift your ribs away from your hips. And as you exhale, feel the weight of your body resting on your sit bones on the floor. Good, then keeping your attention inward, open your eyes, bring your arms up and place your hands, interlace your fingers and place your hands right behind the back of your head. Press your elbows back behind you and press the back of your head gently into your hands. And again, lift your heart, lengthen your waist, and breathe deeply. Keep pressing your elbows back as if you were pressing against a wall behind you. And breathe. Good, gently pressing back, and then keeping your fingers interlaced, bring your hands face upward on the crown of your head. Elbows back again, breathing deeply. Good, and then press up through the heels of your hands, straighten your arms. Keep your arms alongside your ears. Relax your fingers, but press up through the heels of your hands. And breathe. Long, deep breath. Good. Keep reaching, lengthening. Keep your shoulder blades right against your back. Good. And then exhaling, release your arms. Press out through the heels of your hands. Spread your fingers really wide. And bring your arms down. Good. Bring your right hand across to the outside of your left knee. Take a deep breath, raise your left arm overhead, reach up through your fingertips, and then turn your hand to face the wall behind you. Exhaling, bring your hand down right behind your tailbone. Inhaling, lift and lengthen. Exhaling, twist. Using a little leverage on your knee, turn and look behind you. And breathe deeply. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, twist a little bit deeper. 2 or 3 long, deep, full breaths. And with your next inhalation, raise your back arm overhead again. Lengthen as you inhale and come back to center as you exhale. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Inhaling, raise your right arm overhead. Really lengthen, lift as you turn your hand to face behind you. Exhaling, bring your hand down behind your tailbone on the other side. And inhaling, lift and lengthen. Exhaling, twist. Turn and look back behind you again. Couple of long, deep breaths. Keep your shoulder blades against your back and your heart lifted. And breathe. With every inhalation, expand, and with every exhalation, deepen the twist. Good. Next inhalation, bring your back arm overhead, lengthen, and exhaling, come back to center. Good, then change the position of your legs. Put your top leg on the bottom and your bottom leg on the top. Just for a little change. Bring your fingertips out onto the floor in front of you and gently pull against the floor isometrically. Draw your heart forward and your shoulders back and take a couple of breaths. So really lift your heart, shoulders back. Let your heart lead the way. It's a good way to go through life. And as you exhale, hinging just at the hip, keeping a long stretch from your pubic bone all the way to your throat. Keep your waist wide. Start walking your fingers out in front of you. Only go as far as you comfortably can, then pull against the floor again. Lift your heart. Exhaling, walk out a little further. Keep reaching forward. Keep your back flat, your chest lifted, chin up. Smile on your face, and exhaling, walk out a little bit further. Another deep, full breath. Exhale, release down a little further. Only go as far as you comfortably can. Expand on the exhale and lengthen on the inhale, and stop wherever you need to. Listen to your body. Just allow your body to be your guide. And then if you can go all the way forward, gently walk your hands out all the way. And you can bring your forehead down to rest on the floor. Stay on your fingertips. Keep your arms lifted away from the floor. Keep your armpits lifted away from the floor. And keep walking out there on the exhale. Deep breath. Hold on to the floor as you inhale. And exhale, stretch a little bit further. And breathe. Good, deep breathing. And inhaling, walk your hands back in again. Good, bring your hands around behind you, fingertips pointing toward your hips. Roll your shoulders back, lift your heart, lengthen your waist again, and then lean back. Keep your heart lifted, keep your shoulder blades pressing toward each other. Heart lifted, just take a couple of breaths. Every inhalation, lift your heart a little higher toward the ceiling. Keep your chin down and breathe. Good, and then rock back on your sit bones, stretch your legs out in front of you. And then walk forward a little bit. Use your heels to pull you forward so you're sitting on the front of your sit bones. Roll your thighs, your inner thighs, down toward the floor. Good. Let your hands rest right beside your hips. Roll your shoulders back. Flex your feet, press out through your heels, pull your toes back, and come forward just an inch, hugging the bones with your muscles. Good. Lift your chin. And exhale, come a little bit further. Deep breathing. Exhale a little further. Keep the backs of your knees soft. Keep them descending toward the floor. Your chin lifted, reaching for your toes. Shoulders back. And breathe. Nice long stretch in your hamstrings. Deep breath. Good, then when you've come as far as you feel is comfortable, without overstretching, just bring your hands in front and reach for your ankles or your shins. Pull against your legs wherever your hands are, lift your heart, and exhale. Keep your chin lifted as you come forward. Keep your back flat, a long stretch. And another deep inhalation, and stretch forward. Use your body and your breath together, back flat, heart leading the way again. Good, and release forward. Good, long deep breath. Good, one more deep full breath and release down. Let your head go and just relax into the forward fold. Keep breathing deeply. Notice how your breath changes the pose. As you inhale, notice where your breath goes in your body. And as you exhale, deepen the stretch a little bit more. Good, then inhaling, sit up. Bring your hands around behind you again, fingertips pointing forward. Roll your shoulders back. Press your heels down into the floor, take a deep breath, and lift your hips. Roll the balls of your feet down toward the floor. Keep your chin down. Keep your hips lifting. Keep breathing. Stay as long as you comfortably can. A couple of deep, full breaths, lifting from the back of your body. Let your buttocks and your back support you. And release down. Good. Bend your knees. Sit up straight. Hold on to the fronts of your knees and separate your feet hip width. Draw your heart forward and take a deep breath. Lengthen your arms as you exhale. Good. Then release your hands. And if that's the level of this pose for you, you stay right there. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can go back a little bit further. Go back until your belly shakes. That's okay. Then take another deep breath, and as you exhale, extend your right leg out in front of you. Press out through the ball of your foot. Breathe. Squeeze the muscles to the bones. Deep breathing. Unclench your jaw and relax your face and release. And the other side, press the ball of your foot forward as if you were pressing down on a gas pedal. Deep breath, keep your heart lifted, back flat. Good, one more breath and release. And the other side, one more time. Press out through the ball of your foot, breathing. Release, and left foot. Breathing deeply, and release. Good, then press yourself up. Separate your feet hip width as wide as you need to, and press yourself up into a squat. Reach forward as far as you can. Keep your feet parallel as much as possible, and breathe. Deep breath. Keep your weight moving forward. Otherwise, you'll do a backward somersault. Okay, and inhaling. Keep your chest against your thighs as long as you can. Lift your sit bones toward the ceiling and come into a forward fold. Let the crown of your head drop toward the floor, and just let everything from your hips just hang forward. Couple of deep breaths. Then inhaling, roll yourself up. Press your spine up toward the ceiling and let it lead the way as you roll yourself up. Let your arms stay soft, your head stay relaxed, and roll yourself up to standing. Bring your shoulders up around your ears as you bring your head into place. Roll your shoulder blades back toward each other and release down. And again, bring your shoulders up really tight, squeeze. Roll them back, open your hands to the sides as you roll your shoulders back, and release down. Good, and once more, inhaling, arms out to the sides. Bring your arms up, shoulder height. Bend your elbows like a cactus, and bring your elbows back behind you. Palms of your hands forward. Chest lifted. Take a couple of breaths. Deep, full breathing. Good. Then inhaling, bring your arms all the way up. Palms face each other. Interlace your fingers and press your arms up again toward the ceiling. Deep breathing. Let your tailbone drop toward the floor. Let your heart lift, and then bow your head forward. And as you do, lengthen your mid-back from your tailbone up to your shoulder blades. A nice long stretch with your head down. See if you can put a lot of space between your shoulder blades and your hips. And then bring your head back to center. Exhaling, pressing out under the heel of your hands again. Slowly lower your arms. Good. Take a couple of breaths. Just gather yourself together again. Breathe deeply. Feel the energy moving down your arms. And again, inhaling, arms out to the side and overhead. Lift your heart, lift your face. Think joyfully and step forward with your right foot. Just tap your right foot on the floor, just a little tap. And as you come forward, bring your weight onto your front foot, tap with your back foot and balance. Just squeezing the muscles to the bones in both legs. Fix your gaze on something so that you have a point of balance. Squeezing your legs toward the midline of your body. Breathe. And release back. And step your feet together. And next pose, inhaling, same thing on the other side. Arms out to the side and overhead. Good. Step forward with your left foot. Tap your foot on the floor. Find the balance on your right leg and exhaling, step forward onto your left foot. Lengthen, fix your gaze, and exhaling. Lift your foot off the floor. You can come as far forward as you want to, depending on your level of ability, depending on your flexibility. And exhaling, step back, feet together. Bring your hands into prayer position over your heart. Take a couple of breaths. Good. And inhaling, arms out to the side and overhead. Then exhaling, if you have any back problems, bring your arms halfway to the side. If you feel you have the strength and flexibility, come all the way forward into a forward fold. Bring your hands onto your hips and arch up. Lengthen out under your chin. Keep your legs straight but soft. And exhaling, bow. Then inhaling, bring your hands to your shins this time. Take a deep breath, arch up. Lengthen. Lengthen from your chin all the way out in front of you, flat back. And exhaling, bow. Once more, inhaling, arch up. Good. Exhaling, bow. Place your hands on the floor. Bend your knees if you need to and spread your fingers as wide as you can. Step your feet back behind you into a downward facing dog pose. Stretch back. And then bring your knees to the floor for a moment. And take a look at the placement of your body. So your knees should be a little bit behind your hips, hip width apart. Your wrists should be directly under your shoulders. Your fingers spread really wide so that your thumbs are pointing toward each other and your long finger, your middle finger is pointing straight ahead. The palms of your hands really engaged into the floor. Then soften your heart. Let your shoulders come up around your ears a little bit. Bring your shoulder blades together onto your back and hold that with your shoulder blades on your back. Turn your toes under and without moving your shoulder blades, roll back over the balls of your feet. Press your tailbone back and come back into the down dog. And take a couple of deep, full breaths. Let your head go. Arms strong, lifting your arms away from the floor, keeping your shoulder blades together on your back. And inhaling, bring your right foot forward between your hands. If you have to pick it up and put it there, then that's just fine. Let your left foot come to a 45-degree angle behind you. Bend your front knee at a right angle, keeping your knee aiming over your little toe. And then come all the way up. Raise your arms overhead, lift your heart, and take a couple of deep, full breaths. Lengthen out through your fingertips and isometrically draw your legs toward each other and breathe. Keep the little toe side of your back foot pressing into the floor. Deep breath. Good. Then straighten your front leg. Turn your body to the side. And again, exhaling, bend your front knee. Deep breath. Keep lifting your ribs away from your hips. Keep your legs pulling toward each other. And breathe. Isometrically using your feet to strengthen the base of the pose. Good. Then straighten your front leg. Turn your feet so they're pointing the same direction. Outside edges of your feet pressing into the floor. Bring your hands to your hips. Inner spiral your thighs. Lift your chin and let your heart lead you into a half forward fold. Just come halfway down. And breathe. Keep your chin lifted, your shoulders back. Long, deep breath. Good. Keep your shoulders up. And exhaling, come all the way forward. Let the crown of your head drop toward the floor. And then you can release your arms, bring your hands down onto the floor in front of you, and just let the crown of your head reach down a little further. Deep breathing. Keep your inner thighs rotating back and the soles of your feet pulling toward each other. Then bring your right hand to the floor with your fingers pointing toward your left foot. Lengthen forward, lift your chin, take a deep breath and sweep your left arm overhead. Reach up through your fingertips. Deep breath. You can turn your head and look up at your hand. Keep a long line of energy from your tailbone all the way out through the crown of your head. And then exhaling, release down and bow forward again. Breathe. Then place your left hand, fingers facing toward your right foot. Reach forward, lengthen your spine, and inhaling, raise your right hand overhead. Reach up through your fingertips. Breathing deeply. Good. Exhaling, release down. And bow forward. Good. Then inhaling, arch up, fingertips on the floor. Lengthen back through your tailbone. And walk your hands around to the front foot again. Place your hands on the floor, step your feet together behind you, downward facing dog. If you get tired, you can come down onto your knees and rest. Take a couple of deep breaths. Remember to honor your body, go at your own pace. Build up to the poses gradually. And then inhaling, bring your left foot forward between your hands. Turn your right foot to a 45-degree angle. Keep the knee of your left leg heading toward the little toe. And then inhaling, come up. Good. Breathing deeply. Keep squeezing your legs toward each other. Lengthening. Bow your head a little bit. Lengthen your mid-back. And then scoop your shoulder blades forward and lift your heart and lift your face. Deep breath. Good. Strong hands, energy coming out of your fingertips like sparks flying out of your fingers. Good. Then open the pose to the side. Breathe. Long, deep breath. Look out over your front hand. Deep breath. Good. Straighten your front leg. And exhale, come back down into the pose a little bit deeper. Keep your breath full. Relax. See if you can find a place of relaxation in the pose. And come back up. Bring yourself forward. Bend your front knee if you need to. Put your hands on the floor. Downward facing dog again. Remember the alignment. Have your hands directly under your shoulders if you were to come forward. Breathing. Good. Bring your knees down. Bring your hips onto your heels and stretch forward over your hands. If you have a knee problem, you need a blanket, you can roll a blanket up and put it behind your knees. Deep breath. Come up onto your fingertips again. Walk forward, lengthen the side body, lengthen all the way forward. Keep your tailbone pressing back behind you and your hips on your heels. Good, and then walk your hands in, sitting up on your heels. And if you need a blanket, you can roll blankets up to bring you up a little bit. Good, roll your shoulders back and begin leaning back. Bring your hands back behind you, fingertips pointing toward your toes. And then gently begin lifting your hips up and forward. Shoulder blades together, chin down, breathe. Long deep breath. If you feel you have the strength in your neck, you can let your head go back. Keep your heart lifted as your head goes back and breathe deeply. Good, long deep breathing. Great, and then bring your hips onto your heels, bend your elbows, and keep your tailbone scooping forward. Bring yourself down onto your elbows. Keep your heart lifted. Good, deep breath. Great. Then inhaling, bring yourself up. Okay, coming from this position, seated, reach forward with your chin and your heart. Come all the way down into child's pose. Let your arms rest back alongside your legs, backs of your hands on the floor, and let your forehead rest on the floor. And take a couple of deep, full breaths. Good. Keep breathing deeply. A couple of breaths, and then bring your hands to your back. Place your hands right over your kidneys, palms facing downward. And see if you can breathe into your mid-back. See if you can expand your back with your breath. Deep, expansive inhalations and complete exhalations. Deep breathing. Take 3 or 4 deep, full breaths. Fill your hands with your breath. You can direct your breath to any part of your body that feels tight just by focusing on where your breath is going. Use your mind and your breath and your body together. Good, then reach forward with your right arm. Place your hand on the floor and take your left arm and lace it underneath your right. Bend your left elbow and bring your hands together in front of your shoulder into prayer position. Press your palms toward each other and use that leverage to rotate your rib cage into a twist. Turn your head and look up at your shoulder. Keep your spine straight from your tailbone all the way out through the crown of your head, a long straight line. And breathe, using the leverage between your hands to deepen the twist as you exhale. Long, deep, full breath. Good, then with your next inhalation, bring your right arm out in front of you and stretch both arms out. Another long child's pose stretch. Fingertips on the floor, armpits lifted away from the floor. Let your head relax forward. And then bring your right arm underneath your left. Bend your right elbow. Bring your hands together in front of your shoulder. Press the palms of your hands together. Lengthen as you deepen the twist. Reach out through the crown of your head and turn your head and look at your shoulder. And breathe. Deep, full breath. Keep your head lifted away from the floor. Keep reaching out through the crown of your head toward the center of the room. And breathe deeply. Good, then stretch your arms out in front of you again. Bring your forearms down onto the floor and rock forward onto your arms. Stretch your legs back behind you and come down onto your belly. Okay, from here, lift your chest, push forward against your hands, and as you bow your head forward, draw your kidneys up toward your shoulder blades, and then lift by pressing forward with your hands. Lift your heart up and forward and breathe. Deep breath. Long, deep breathing. Roll your buttocks toward each other, shoulders back, heart lifted. Deep breathing. Good. And exhaling, come down. This time, come all the way down. Let your chin rest on the floor. Bring your hands just under your shoulders. Roll your shoulder blades together. Scrunch your shoulders up a little bit toward your ears. And then as you inhale, bow your head, draw your kidneys up toward your shoulder blades again. Sweep the bottom edge of your shoulder blades forward and press against the floor. Come up just a little bit into a cobra pose. And breathe. Deep breath. And come down a little bit. Another breath. Exhaling, come down a little more. Breathing. And all the way down. Building a little upper body strength. Take another deep breath. Shoulders back. Inhale, come up just a little further. And a little more. Next inhalation, come up a little bit more. Breathe. And exhaling, come all the way down. Good, let your chin rest on the floor. Reach back and grasp your right foot with your right hand. Take a deep breath and exhaling, draw your heel in very gently. Nice stretch in your quadriceps. Very gentle, gentle stretch. Take a couple of breaths. Good, and release. And other side. Draw your heel in. Find the edge of the stretch and release your foot a little bit. Take a deep breath. Exhaling, draw your heel in a little bit more. Take another deep breath, release. Exhale, draw it in a little further. Good, and release your foot. Bring both feet in now. Take a deep, full breath. Keep your head down as you bring yourself up, pushing the tops of your feet into your hands. Keep your shoulders rolling back toward each other. Keep the pose low. Deep breathing. Bow your head. Draw your kidneys up toward your shoulder blades again, and then lift a little higher. And breathe. Keep pressing your feet into your hands, and then if you want to, you can lift your legs off the floor. But be gentle with yourself. Only go as far as you can go comfortably in the pose. Good. And release. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Turn your toes under and lift your hips off the floor. Just gently lift up. Take a couple of breaths. Keep pushing back through your heels. Breathing. Good, then release your legs. Inhale and lift yourself all the way up into an upward facing dog pose. You can leave your knees on the floor, roll your shoulders back, let your heart come forward. Deep breath. Good, and bend your knees. Come back into child's pose again. Keep your fingers on the floor. Lift your armpits away from the floor. Come up onto your fingertips. And release your back with your breath. So bring your breath into your mid-back. And inhaling, walk your hands up to seated on your heels. Good. Rock over onto your left hip and bring your right leg out in front of you. And open the pose to the side so that your left foot is right in front of you and your knee is a little bit at an angle. Press out through the heel of your right foot. Place the back of your hand on your shin. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, bring your hand all the way down your leg to grasp the inside of your arch. Keep your elbow moving toward the inside of your leg. And then roll that right shoulder forward and your upper shoulder back. Reach through the crown of your head toward your toes. And breathe. Now, if you want a little bit more challenging pose, bring your left hand to the back of your neck and point your left elbow straight up toward the ceiling. Deep breathing. And if you have the flexibility and you want to go a little deeper, you can reach your left hand to your toes and keep stretching and breathing. Keep lengthening the crown of your head toward your foot. Long, deep breath. Try to keep both sit bones on the floor. Good. Inhaling. Sit up. Bring your fingertips straight out in front of you. Keep your extended foot flexed. Bring your heart forward and walk yourself as far forward as is comfortable. So only go as far as you can. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, soften forward. And again, inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, soften down. A little further. Keep the back of your right knee softening toward the floor. Inhaling again, lift. Exhaling, lengthen. Long, deep breath. Stay on your fingertips. Keep your armpits lifted away from the floor. And breathe. Good. And inhaling, walk your hands back in. And bring this left leg forward and change sides. Bend your right leg in. Right knee comes off at an angle. Place your left hand face up on your shin and your right hand on your hip. Take a deep breath and exhaling, slide your hand down your leg and grasp the inside of your arch. Let your elbow descend toward the inside of your knee. Take a deep breath and exhaling, turn and look up at the ceiling. Keep your breath full, long, deep breath. And then again, if you have the strength and flexibility, you can bring your hand behind your head, elbow pointing straight up toward the ceiling, and breathe. And if you want to go a little bit further, you can bring it all the way down to your foot. And breathe deeply. Keep your breath full. Full deep inhalations and complete exhalations. That's a little bit of a twist. Good, and then inhaling, come all the way back up again. Bring your fingertips out on the floor in front of you and come straight forward, leading with your heart. Keep your extended foot flexed, the back of your knee dropping toward the floor, your chin up, and come forward. Stay on your fingertips. Deep breath. And exhaling a little further. Stay back from your edge, so come back on an inhale. Exhale, soften into the pose. Be gentle with your body. Keep both hips down. Only go as far as is comfortable. Yoga shouldn't ever hurt. Inhaling, arch up a little bit, back away from the pose, and exhaling, release down. Good. A couple of breaths. Don't forget about your extended foot. Keep it flexed. Keep your heel pressing forward and your toes pulled back. Good. And then come up and stretch both legs out in front of you. And bend your knees. Gently roll yourself down onto the floor. Bring your right foot to the top of your left thigh. Bring your arms out to the side, shoulder height, palms facing the floor. Take a deep, full breath, and as you exhale, bring your knee over and let it be greeted by your left hand. Turn your head and look over your right hand. Take a couple of deep breaths, giving yourself a nice little pressure on your knee to deepen the twist. See if you can get your right ear on the floor, looking out over your right hand. Inhale, lengthen from the sole of your extended foot all the way through the crown of your head. Exhaling, twist. And breathe. Good. One more deep, full breath. Twist a little deeper on the exhale. And inhaling, draw your knee in and then roll back to center. Extend your foot straight up in the air. Hold on to it behind your thigh or behind your calf. Take a deep breath. Flex both feet. Press out through the heels of both feet. And then exhaling, bring your leg straight back toward your face. Very gently. Long, deep breath. So inhale, extend through your heel. Exhale, draw your leg a little closer. Again, inhale, extend out through your right heel. Exhaling, bring your leg down a little closer. Good, deep, full breath. Try to keep both legs straight, both knees straight. Be gentle with your body. And exhaling, slowly bring your foot down to the floor. Bring your left leg across and just rest your ankle on your knee. Then reach through the hole between your legs, clasp your hands, and draw your knee toward you. Keep your left knee moving out to the side as you draw your right knee in toward your chest. Be very, very gentle. Keep pressing through the heel of your left foot and draw your little toe side of your foot toward your knee. And breathe. Deep, full breath. Good, and release. Bring both feet to the floor, slide your right leg out in front of you. Bring your left foot to the top of your right thigh. Bring your arms out to the side, shoulder height, palms facing down. Take a deep breath and exhaling. Bring your left knee over to meet it with your right hand. Turn your head and look out over your left hand. See if you can get your left ear on the floor. And twist gently. Take a deep breath, lengthen from the heel of your right foot all the way out through the crown of your head, and exhaling, twist a little deeper. Long stretch. Deep, full breath. Good, then draw your knee in toward your chest as you roll back to center. Stretch your legs straight up toward the ceiling. Hold on to the back of your thigh or the back of your calf, or if you can reach your foot, you can hold on to your foot. Take a deep breath and exhale, and keep your knees, both knees straight as you draw your leg toward your face. Inhaling deeply, exhaling, softening into the pose. 3 or 4 deep, full breaths. Keep your shoulder blades against the floor. Keep the energy in both legs, even the one that's extended. Keep your leg flexed. And breathe. Good, and release. Bring your right leg up, put your ankle across your left knee. Lace your hand through and clasp your hands behind your left thigh. Take a deep breath and keep moving your right knee forward as you draw your left knee toward your chest. Be very gentle with yourself. Deep breathing. So on the inhale, release the pose slightly. On the exhale, soften into it. Keep the little toe side of your right foot pulled back and your heel pressing forward, your right knee pressing forward, away from you, and breathe. Good, long, deep, full breath, softening on the exhale, and release. Bring both feet to the floor. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Press your elbows down into the floor and roll your shoulder blades together behind you. Lift your chest as high as you can, and you'll find that your head rolls back, and you can rest on the crown of your head or the back of your head. Take a couple of breaths. You can keep the weight on your elbows if you have neck problems. If you want more of a stretch and your neck is stronger, then bring your hands into prayer position over your heart and just rest on the crown of your head. And breathe. Couple of deep, full breaths. And release. Press your elbows down. Release your head. Lay your body down and let your arms come down by your sides, palms facing up. Let the back of your body melt into the floor. Let the front of your body melt into the back of your body. Take a full deep breath, inhaling as deeply as you possibly can, and then taking in a little more air, and a little more, and just a little more. And hold for a heartbeat or two, and then exhaling, release. And just let your breath float. Let your body float. Relax your feet and your legs. Relax your abdominal cavity. Relax your heart and your lungs and your rib cage. Relax the backs of your shoulders, your throat, and the length of your arms. Release your jaw. Let your eyeballs just sink back into their sockets. Smooth out your eyelids and your forehead. Relax your scalp. And relax the crown of your head. And just allow your body to relax completely, enjoying the benefits of your yoga practice. Namaste.